Hi, and welcome to this chapter, Fibonacci Retracements and Expansions. Fibonacci tool is a tool based on Fibonacci levels discovered by a famous Italian mathematician, Fibonacci. We use it to measure waves of movements of price, then it helps us give a target by means of which expansion we can target to. So, with this we use a level for, it's just like a ruler, it's the levels from 0 to 100%. If something retraces to a possible 61.8%, that is like a positive and negative retraction. So if you have a girlfriend that is positive 61.8, that means you are negative 61.8. The positives and negatives will always attract each other. So if price retracted to, let's say, 78.6, that means price will expand to 88.6. So let's go through this in further detail. One tip is always pull your fib in the direction of the trend. How we do this we'll show you on the chart in a minute, but let's first go through the theory of it. Let's say you have a double top formation as we have here. In a downtrend we have the A-B move that happens. Ideally we'd like to enter on the C. So we place our fib from our high to our low, just like we did in our trends. If we see a downtrend move beginning, obviously we don't know if it's going to continue yet, so we have to use a Fibonacci tool to wait for A, B, C, D movement. As you can see, A, B, C, D. But you place your fib from your A to your B, wait for a retracement, then wait for some bearish candlestick information, and then the expansion. So let's say as it went here from 61.8, ideally we now need to target negative 61.8. For every positive there is a negative. Okay, so it's a retracement level and the expansion. The expansion is our target. The retracement level is our entry point. So for fib in an uptrend, you place it from the low to the high. In the downtrend we said from the high to the low, but in an uptrend it's from your low to your high. Then we wait for a retracement. That gives us an entry with a bullish candlestick there, the bullish engulfing candlestick, and then the expansion level, which goes from C to D. It retraces 78.6, so ideally we need to target negative 78.6. This will give us our target, which was fulfilled, and that's very, very clear. So that's the theory. So now let's go to our charts and actually set up our Fibonacci expansion levels. So we use this example as we plotted out the highs and lows from before, but we first need to actually place our fibs and get the right coordinates set in it. So at the top here you'll see a button that says draw Fibonacci retracement level. You click on that, you pull it from the bottom to the top of your chart. As you can see now it's got 100, 61.8, 50, 38.2, 23.6 and 0. This needs to be changed. How we change that is we go to the red line here, we double click on it, we right click on that red line, and we click fib properties. Now what you need to do is scroll down on the description, remove 4.236, delete that, 261.8, delete that, 11618, delete that, and scroll back up again. Right, so now we need to start adding the rest of our levels. So how we do that is we go to add. Now you must listen carefully and apply carefully, please guys. You have to add 0.786. Then you go to description, double click there, and you add 78.6. Then you go to add again. Now you add 0.886. Description 88.6. Then you go add again. Now we're going to be going to the negative expansions. So it will be negative 0.236. Then description will be negative 23.6. Add again. Now we must go to negative 0.382. Description negative 0. it's negative 38.2. Then we can add again, negative 0.50. Description, negative 50. Then we can add again, negative 0.618. Description, negative 61.8. Add again, negative 0.8786. Description, negative 78.6. Add again, negative 0.886. Description, negative 88.6. Add again, negative 1, and description, negative 100. Then once you're done, you simply press OK. Now, as you can see, you can select this red line. Now all the fib levels that we need are actually entered, which actually is perfect. How we do this now to remove the fib line is we double click on the red line and delete it. Okay, to select it again, you click on fib and you simply draw it. If you're in a downtrend, remember you draw it from top down, but if you're in an uptrend, you draw it from low to high. Very simple. Okay, we're going to get into how it moves and how we use it as well now shortly. But for you guys need to remember is that you do need a mouse for this. Working with a keypad and your finger, it's going to be very slow, and unless you're not you got two hands to work with, it's going to be a bit difficult. So we suggest you buy a cheap mouse and use that, please. Okay, so let's now get to use with these fib tools and how we place it and where. So let's go maybe to another example, something probably easier to use for a downtrend example. This is perfect. Okay, let's just remove everything. Okay, here's a list. Let's remove this here. Okay, so as per training, we first have to identify the trend. This is a high. This is a high. This is a low. This now will become a lower high. So let's not go like that. Text, change it, lower high. Now, how would we use a fib in a downtrend? We simply take our fib tool from the high, you press the button, click it to hold it down, to the low. Tip to tip, guys, tip to tip. Now, the fib tool retraced and hit the 50 level. Now, like I said earlier to you, if your girlfriend is negative 50, and you have to be a positive number, you have to be equal but opposite. Okay, so you are equal the number but just opposite the digit. So that means from 50 to negative 50 would be our target. Was our target fulfilled? Yes, it was. So that trade would have been fulfilled. Same again for this here. You simply go like this, you delete your fib. Once the fib is finished, when it hits the target at the negative 50, you simply double click on red and you delete it. Now, let's add again this section here. You go, that's a lower high, this would be a lower low. So, let's now go here and add that there. What is that there? That's a lower high. So, we simply take our fib and we go from the high to the low. Okay, very simple. The high to the low. Where it retraced at between 50 and 61.8, so we have to target between 50 and 61.8. Did our target get hit? Yes, it eventually did. So that's how you use Fibonacci expansions in a downtrend. Let's now go to an uptrend. Let's go down to the daily. Okay, so as an example, again, we use this low and a high. This would be a lower high, sorry, a higher low, my apologies, higher low, and this would be a higher high. So that there, and then this would be a higher low, and this would be a higher high. Okay, so now we've determined that it still is an uptrend. We can now place our fibs. So where do we place our fibs for in a uptrend? As per rule, from the low to the high, tip to tip, from the tip of the low to the tip of the high. Let's see what happened. We had a low, high, a retracement at 50. We had a morning star pattern there, and before that we had a bullish engulf, but this morning star is more indicative. So this came from the 50 level. So if we went from a positive 50, we have to target a negative 50. Overall, negative 50 was hit. So that is our fib fulfilled. Its fib is done. That was a longer term fib. So or you could have placed a fib from this low to this high, and it was gone to 61.8. Did it hit 61.8? Nearly just. Okay, negative 61.8 was nearly hit. Now you must remember, guys, fibs are a tool for us to target to. Sometimes they might exceed our expansion target. So let's say we retrace to 50 and our expansion level should be negative 50. Sometimes it only gets to negative 38.2, or sometimes it'll go past the negative 50. That's fine, but obviously we have to start reading price when it starts coming close to our fib levels. Okay, just like this example like we had now, from that low to this high, it went to 61.8. It came close to negative 61.8. We've had to read price there to understand that it was time to get out on a lower time frame. You can't just stay there and think, okay, it's going to hit target. Sometimes it just falls just short, but like I said, sometimes it goes well beyond. It is just purely on the movement of price. So you have to be able to read price and when it's going to turn. So right, guys, that's Fibonacci retracement and expansions. It's very, very simple. You have to identify the trend, your lows and your highs, your higher lows and your higher highs for an uptrend, and then place your fibs from your lows to your highs. For a downtrend, you have to identify your highs and your lows, same as the uptrend, but then pull from your high to your low. So, to repeat, for a downtrend, you find your highs and your lows, and then you place your fib tool from a high to a low. On a downtrend, on an uptrend, you identify your lows and your highs, and then you pull your fib from a low to a high. Your expansions, your retracements, say if it comes towards anything positive, it has to go to the equal but opposite number on the expansion level. Our retracement level is our entry, and our expansion level is our target. So our TP should go at our expansion. Right, guys. So if you need to go through that video slowly and to enter the details on how to place the fib points, please just pause it and then just enter your details and then continue with the video. So pause, enter, pause, enter, pause, enter until all those fib levels are correct. Please ensure that those fib levels are copied exactly the same, as it has to be like that. But until then, good luck with this chapter and move on to the next chapter when completed.